Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to season 14, episode 28, overall 743 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, located at 905 Woodlawn Row West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles, EVs, the best in Ontario, and also check out their Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership right now at 519-824-0210 and tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family-run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969. And please check out their employee pricing month. And they have some other deals going on at Barry Cullen Chevrolet right now. So, again, check out barrycullen.com or pop by the dealership in Guelph here as well. Good morning, everybody. It's hard to believe. It is Saturday, August 1st, 2026, and we're going to start August 1st out with a special guest. It's her first time on our show. She is from the Niagara region, I believe. She is an author, a wellness speaker, and a cancer survivor, and she's also doing a charity fundraiser for Ride to Fight Kids Cancer coming up, a 250-kilometer ride, and her goal is to raise $3,000. And I'm excited to have our guest on today, Carlene Lee. We're going to bring her on right now after a little applause. Good morning, Carlene. How are you?
Good morning, Chris. I am well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing okay. I can't believe it's August 1st. I swear the older I get, somebody just speeds up time. I can't believe it's already August 1st today.
You and me both. I'm like excited and, so many things to look forward to. So I welcome August with open arms.
And we already have a viewer watching on YouTube. Janine9991, looking forward to this. Thank you for watching.
Hi,
Janelle. Sorry,
That's my daughter. That's my daughter.
Wow. Well, tell her thank you so much for watching our show, and excited to have you on today, Carlene. And how are you doing, and how's preparation going for this bike ride you're doing? And tell our audience a little bit more about it.
Okay, so I've been riding with the Great Cycle Challenge Canada for 8 years now. And speaking of my daughter, Janelle, she is the one who got me started. And just to make a long story short, it's about the same time that I conquered my battle with colon cancer. That's when I started the ride. So 8 years ago is the same time is as long as I've been with the Great Cycle Challenge Canada. And it's been an awesome journey and my way to give back to society and to the kids fighting their battle, giving hope and inspiration.
How, for somebody who's experienced cancer, when you found out you had colon cancer, how devastating was it, and how important was it having a strong mindset and strong support system in overcoming this?
So to be very honest with you, when I first was diagnosed, I didn't really have a reaction. It was almost as if I knew something was wrong internally. And having to cope and deal with all the information that was being given to me was a lot. So I really have to be thankful for my family, my husband and my kids who were there. They were my stronghold through everything, because without them, and not to mention, it's not just about your body and the sickness that you're going through, having a strong mindset and people behind you to support you is critical. So it was overwhelming, a lot to deal with and to consider. And what can I say except that I live to speak about it. And I encourage anyone to tell their story, because you just don't know whose life you will touch in the process. I didn't realize how many lives were impacted just from hearing my story. So, yeah, it was a journey. It's a journey that I don't wish for anyone to ever be on, because it's not a good ride. But the good thing is I was able to get through it with the support of keeping an open mind and being optimistic and positive through it all. And my daughter Janelle, my husband Radcliffe, and my two sons Brandon and Ty, along with extended family, were also played a key role in me overcoming. So, I'm grateful. And having a heart of gratitude is what really matters to me.
One of my guests on tomorrow, her name's Brandy Benson. She's a Georgia realtor, but she's also a cancer survivor as well. She had a rare form of Ewing sarcoma, and she wasn't supposed to make it, and she battled and she fought it as well. So I want to say thank you for sharing your story. And for those people who might be watching our show or listen to it, and they might have cancer, what advice would you give to them from your experience?
One strong advice I would give to all of them, anyone going through it, regardless of what stage you're at in your journey, always stay optimistic no matter what, because sometimes that is the healing property that you need. Everything starts with the mind, right? The heart and the mind. And if you stay optimistic and just feed yourself positivity, stick with people who will uplift you and build you up and not bring you down. The last thing you need to hear on your journey is other stories and how other people didn't make it. You want to always stay optimistic, positive, and you'll get through it in the best way that you can. So that's my strong advice to everybody, is just to stay hopeful. Believe that no matter what, you will get through.
Do you find the mindset is just as important as the treatment itself in kind of shrinking cancer?
150%. Absolutely. If we don't have the mindset and we don't think that, hey, I can survive this thing, I can beat this thing. I mean, regardless of the fact and what the circumstances or the situation is for your case, the mind is everything. If you believe it, you can achieve it. And it's not simple, but if you believe, good things can happen.
Now, since you've beaten cancer, do you get checked periodically with your doctor and that too?
Absolutely. That's key, because through, maintenance of our health, and that's how this was caught in the first place, being intentional about yearly checkups. And then what comes next when you reach a certain age of 40, 50, whatever that age bracket is, for certain testing to be done. I strongly advise everybody to take control of their health and to be intentional about it, because that was what saved my life, to be honest with you. Regular annual checkups is key.
I'll be seeing my family doctor in a couple of weeks as well, and I'm going to ask him some questions about that too, because I just turned 54, so I'm going to talk to him about that as well in a couple of weeks.
Definitely.
Now, for our audience, and they're interested in helping you out, can you just tell them how they can help you out with this 250-kilometer bike ride for Fight Kids Cancer? Just how they can help out.
Okay, so I know you've probably seen 250, but my actual kilometer goal is a stretch. It's actually 500 that I'm aiming for this August, and it is a stretch because the most I've ever done is 309 kilometers in the month of August. So I've really set the bar high, probably ridiculously high for me. But anyways, we're going to leave it, and I'm going to strive to do what I can and hopefully achieve it. So how you can support me on I have TikTok, Carlene_Lee1, TikTok, IG. I have in my profile, the link is there for my Great Cycle Challenge. You guys can either support me by cheering me on, giving a donation of any amount, or just sharing my page. I would greatly appreciate that, and yeah, so if anyone's interested in supporting me on that journey, that's how you can do it.
And I have it on the bottom of the ticker too, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
With all your social media pages too. So yes, that's what I love about StreamYard. I can do that for my guests, their website, social media sites, or anything. Right here, greatcyclechallenge.ca/writers/Carlene Lee. And then I also have your TikTok, your Instagram, and your, I think, Linktree on here as well. So, hey, and your goal is to raise what, $3,000?
$3,000.
Yes.
Not limited, but that's my goal.
I have another comment here, and this is from your daughter. She says, "You can do it. Remember, if you believe it, you can achieve it." It's easy to say that, but it's also it's a mindset too. You have to put in your head and keep saying it to yourself.
But I'll tell you something, Chris. When you have the support and that encouragement behind you, it does something special, because every time I see a donation come through my box, and I get excited about it. I'm not even going to lie, get excited about it. And it gives me the push and the drive to get out there and pedal harder. So every time I see a donation coming through or a word of encouragement, and these days it seems to be rarer and rarer, but for those people who drop that comment and that word of encouragement or give that donation, it really spikes my adrenaline in the most positive way. And it gives me that push, that drive. So I want to thank everybody who has supported me so far. And there's been quite a few. And also the returning year after year sponsors that continue to support me. I just want to give them a shout out. They know who they are, and I appreciate them more than they know. So,
and I would like to help out as well. I just did a fundraiser for the local Humane Society here, where I actually ran 40 yards on a football field in less than 8 seconds. And
wow.
I didn't think I could do it because I'm 54. I'm not in good shape right now. I'm a little overweight, and I actually
tell your mind, speak life, Chris. Speak life.
I surprised myself. I actually surprised a lot of people. So
awesome.
I try to help.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Proud of you.
And I've been volunteering for 31 years of my life, and it's important to give back and help others. And I think what you're doing is amazing. So I would like to make an online donation after our show today to support your cause.
Wow.
Cancer affects so many people. And you're welcome. And people think, well, cancer can't affect me because it's not in the genes, but cancer can affect anybody at any time. It doesn't discriminate, unfortunately. Like, it's just, I've seen people who are healthy, fit as fiddle, and they ended up having it. So,
yep, you're absolutely right.
But cancer, I'm glad
does not discriminate against anyone, and so coming on here, I didn't expect this, Chris. To be honest with you, I didn't expect any of this. And so I'm a little taken back and very grateful for you for doing this, because like I said, I had no idea this was even coming. So thank you. And
you're
sorry
welcome.
if I'm getting a little bit emotional, but this is my true authentic self, and
you're a good person. And that's what I like about this show is connecting with people, networking with people, but getting to know people and sharing their stories, storytelling. It's not about me, it's about my guests. And I think live streaming is now the new form of radio. We could talk about radio all we want, but live streaming and shows like myself and some other people who are professionals, this is where it's at nowadays. And I think there's still a lot of great people's stories out there that need to be heard and shared. And that's what my
Yes.
platform is. It's very welcoming and it's a very diverse podcast. And every show I have on with my guests, I learned something from them that I didn't know. So that's why I love doing it. It's people like yourself that are the stars. And thank you for sharing us your story with that.
And I want to return that favor and say thank you very much for sharing this spotlight with me, because without you, this day wouldn't be, right? So thank you. And thank you for all that you do. And you're just an awesome, genuine person. And real recognizes real. And that's something I've learned. I've always known, but I see it more clearly in my life over the past few years. So it's important to stay authentic and true to heart, because that's when you will reciprocate those people, genuine people in your life. And that means the most, more than anything. So thank you for being
Well,
you. And thank you for this opportunity to showcase my gifts and, to hopefully inspire and leave people feeling uplifted.
you're very welcome. And I think my former career in security prepared me for this, because when I was in security, I had to learn how to public speak. I had to learn to listen. I had to learn to think on my feet. And most importantly, empathy too. I find that that's something that I find the empathy nowadays in the world seems to be shrinking. I don't know what your thoughts on that, but I just don't feel it's as good as it should be.
You're absolutely right on that. It's everywhere we go. And that's why I always say, Chris, as much as we see that people's compassion is shrinking, it's up to us, the better ones, to make the difference and spread our love and light wherever we are and wherever we go, because there's always somebody who needs it. Always. I mean, sometimes it's easier said than done, but we quickly have to remind ourselves in the moment that, what, this person either doesn't know better, or they're going through something, like every time it's easy to get upset when that person takes up the sidewalk, which I experience a lot. But then I look at it this way. When you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at will change. And I mean, it's easier to say in the simple circumstances, but when you get to the more difficult and challenging ones, you really have to take a step back and pause.
Now, I wanted to ask you this before we get on to some questions. Also, is the Great Cycling Challenge, is it a one-day event, or is it over a month?
I'm glad you asked that. So what it is, I believe, so it's a month. So you basically, every year for the month of August, and there's been occasions where they've changed the month, but it's always August. For the entire month of August, you set your goal, your ride goal, your donation goal, and then you strive to achieve that. And whether you do or not, you're still winning, because you're doing something and you're giving back. And every kilometer, every donation counts and goes towards something, right? So Great Cycle Challenge Canada has been around since, I want to say, 2017, 16, and my daughter will know, I think. But so I joined it a couple years after it came out. But yeah, it's a great cause. And to be honest with you, when I first started, I started with the intention of only doing it for 1 year, but the motivation and the encouragement that you get from the group, they have a Facebook group, which is the Great Cycle Challenge Friends. And through that group, there is so much encouragement, inspiration, that once you start, you almost can't stop. Right? It's something that you look forward to doing every year. It's not forced. It's something, and they have people that volunteers that actually reach out to you, genuinely reach out to cheer you on, give you updates. And it really is one of the better causes that I've been involved in. And I shouldn't say better, because they're all the causes, whether you choose to go with, heart and stroke or whatever it is that you're passionate about, they're all towards something good. But this one for me has really been more impactful because it involves the kids. And my nephew survived cancer as well. He was barely 2 years old when he was
Oh my
diagnosed.
God.
So he lives with a scar across his chest that he does not hide, and he's proud of it because he knows what he had to overcome to be here. So yeah, that he's one of the reasons why I ride as well. But also, like I said, I'm thankful for my daughter for introducing me to the Great Cycle Challenge. So Janelle, thank you. I love you, and you're amazing. Amazing.
And prayers too. One day there'll be a cure for cancer
Yes.
because it affects so many people. And I've lost pets. I've lost pets and dogs and cats from cancer too. It is just horrible. And hopefully they'll have a cure for it one day.
Yes, that is my dream, that one day we'll live in a world cancer-free. I may not be here to see it, but I hope that I will be. But cancer research has come a very long way to what it used to be. And the best advice I can give to people is just try to be intentional about your health and listen to your body. That is critical more than anything. Your body tells you when something is wrong, but we have to be in tune to it and we have to listen to it. So
it's like a car when a car warning light comes on or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you. I am fairly healthy, but I do need to lose weight. I do have I'm fairly healthy, but that's my next battle. I'm not saying lose 50 pounds, 60 pounds, but even I'm just saying right now my goal is to start small, maybe 5 pounds, and just continue from
that's
there.
the way to do it. That's the best way to do it.
Because too many people are like, 50, 60, 70 pounds. But I
Do
think
it small. Do it small.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, it's easy to lose the weight. I think the hard part is to maintain it because some people, when they're stressed out, turn to drugs, alcohol, smoking. I turn to comfort food. So for me, I have to learn when I'm stressed out not to go back to my bad habits. So I have lost weight before, but I've put it back on. So that's my next battle. And I have another comment here, and I believe it's from your daughter, and she just wants to say, "I love you, Mom." I don't think we hear enough of that nowadays.
I love you too, kiddo. I try to tell my kids, as often as I can. And, my daughter and I had a little joke going on because she watches everything that I do on social media. And so I don't know if she came across, well, we both saw the same post. It was something, I don't know, International Love Day. I'll be lying if I tell you exactly what it is, but and right away, I sent all my kids a post that said, "I love you, I love you, and then my daughter fired back a message and she said, "You saw that post on Facebook, didn't you?" I said, "Listen, I love you guys regardless, but that just prompted me to send you guys the message." So yeah.
And I know we mentioned this off camera, but I met you through another guest of mine, Shosette Howe. So I want to say thank you to Shosette Howe. And I've met so many wonderful people through other guests and connections on here. So I'm really glad that we met through that. Now, when you watched my show with Shosette or saw some of it, what were your first impressions of me?
My first impressions from you from the get-go was, this guy's real. He's real and he's true to heart. And that's what I love. I look for authentic people. And you can always feel when somebody's being real. And, actions speak louder than words. But when your words and your actions match, that's when you can say yes, And it's through little things that people don't realize. Their day-to-day reactions and actions speak volumes. And so when you first approached me, I did a little investigation myself and I checked you out. I went through social media. I did this and I said, wow. And aside from seeing you, well, the first time I actually saw you was through Sachette when you did the talk show with her and the two other ladies that she was with. And I really admire how you go about things. Your approach speaks and it's everything. It's everything. It turns a no to a yes or a, wow, I never thought of that, So you said you mentioned that you learn from your guests. Well, we learn a lot from you too. And like I said, you sharing the spotlight with so many of us, it really says something about you, your character, your personality, and I appreciate that. Real
Well,
recognizes real. That's all I can say.
Well, thank you so much. And I'm just trying to prove to the radio and the TV industry, they've told me I'm too old. They told me I don't have enough education. They told me I don't know how to talk to people. So I use that as motivation. And
Yes, stepping
every
stones
morning I
to
wake up,
greatness.
I use it as
Stepping stones to
motivation.
greatness. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And,
For
and
every
things,
no, for every no that I've ever heard in my life, or, oh, you won't be able to do that. Same thing. You're too old or your time has passed. I
yeah.
take all of it and I use them as my stepping stones to greatness, because I can't tell you, from teachers, from going through school. And I will say this. I had two out of all of my high school and school years. I had two teachers that I can count on one hand that made a difference in my life. And I wrote about them in my latest book and also the previous one. So I am very thankful for, and I will say their names, Mr. Fowley and Mr. Hamilton. So those two teachers, they did a lot for me mentally.
And I find I get a lot more support from strangers and people that I meet than for some people that I know. And I hear that from a lot of people too, that strangers
True.
actually support you more than
It's true.
sometimes the people that you know. And
It's true.
I'll be honest with you too. I used to shrink and play small, and now
We
I
all
don't
did.
do that.
We
I
all
don't.
did. I don't think there's any exception, Chris, and I would be lying if I sat here and told you that I didn't do that, because there's a time in all of our, if we, let me put it this way. In order for us to realize how far we've come, we've got to acknowledge what was. And for me, like, I used to think that, oh, no, I know the type of person that I am, and I know that the gifts that I bring are, unique. So when people used to say to me, make me feel like I'm here, I used to shrink. I used to shrink. And I said to myself, why? I've got so much to offer. And as I found this especially true in high school and also in the workplace when I just started out in my profession. And then I came to the point where I said to myself, I'm not going to grow if I keep shrinking. So I'm not going to grow. I'm not going to develop a mindset of growth and prosperity. And I'm not going to thrive if I keep doing what I'm doing. And so that's when I came out of my shell and recognized my worth and my value and how much I have to bring to society and the people around me. So that's exactly what I did. And then
And now,
those who
go ahead.
believe in you will stay with you, right?
And never let others belittle you. Do you find belittling and bullying is increased with the internet and social media platforms?
I'm going to say, well, the bullying and those things have always been in existence. But now that we have the internet, we will see it a lot more, I believe, because we're seeing. Before, we never had this technology that we can see. We didn't have social media. So now it's always been. And I believe that it's probably worse than what it was. But nobody, like, statistics show, right? Statistics don't lie. And so it's sad because a lot of it is just discrimination. A lot of it is discrimination. And, because I look different from you or whatever, why should that matter? It's what's inside of us. It's our character. It's our values. It's who we are, right? It's not about what we look like, right? So that's where I'm at with this. Unfortunate, we just have to come to a place where we try to encourage our kids, and as my husband and I have, to be strong and to be, just move forward with strength, and you just got to gear them in the right direction as best as you can.
and surround yourself with positive people. I've removed toxic people out of my life, toxic work environment, toxic people, people who don't support you, people who are jealous of, envious of you. You surround yourself with good people. It really makes a difference who your inner circle is.
100%.
My inner circle, I find as I have gotten older, has shrunk, but the quality is much better.
Yes. And you know what? Since you said that, it's absolutely true, because it's like this. When you, for example, so all my social media platforms, they're all authentic. None of it is boost engagement. I don't believe in that for me personally. I mean, it's fine for the people who want to do that for various reasons. But for me, I want to see genuine connection, genuine engagement. And so, and I spoke about this, I made a post about this. Why do I want to boost my engagement? Because I don't know if it's real or not, right? So I always want to be as true to heart as possible. And I want my audience to feel that.
Organic, just like my YouTube channel. I had some people on threads like, hey, we're beating you in subscribers and views and that. And I'm like, at least my numbers are organic. I've done it on my mine are done organically and natural. I did not have to pay somebody to get me more views and more subscribers. I want people to like my content for who I am and for what I do, not just because somebody's paying you. And I posted that on threads last night, and you did respond to me. So
I did.
Great minds think alike.
Yes. Yeah. That's why we connect, because honestly and truthfully, I want to surround myself with the people who are like-minded and people I can learn and grow from, people who build me up and not tear me down when my back is turned. Those are the people I want to keep in my circle. And I'll be honest with you, Chris, my circle is not very big. And there's a reason for that. I'm intentional about that, because I can't possibly support millions of viewers, millions of people, or thousands, right? So while I appreciate it, and if I ever get there, I will appreciate everyone, but I can't acknowledge and be there for everyone, right? So I just try to acknowledge the people who are there for me now, and, just build from what I already have and be happy with that, right? If others are inspired and I gain more viewers, I'm grateful for that. And I appreciate everyone regardless. So if I don't engage with everyone, it's not because of anything other than I want to make sure that I can bring my truest, and I stress this, you've probably heard it a million times since we got on here, but I want to bring my truest self to my platforms. And that's
be yourself.
Yes.
And unfortunately in media, you don't always see that. And I've been told by some professional broadcasters, be yourself. Don't be somebody that you're not. But unfortunately, there's so many out there that try not being themselves. And it's like people can pick up fake and phony. And with me,
Absolutely.
what you see with me here is what you get if you saw me in a mall or in a public place.
I see that. And same here. The only difference with me today is I'm a little bit more dressed up than I usually am. But hey, presentation.
I did shave. I did shave this morning. I did shave. I did a promo the other day, and I forgot I didn't shave, and I was a little scruffy looking. So I apologize for that, but I did shave today. So.
And I always say this, if you can't see me in my natural state and you have to see me done up all the time, well, then I'm sorry, then maybe I'm not for you, right?
Good point.
For me, I should be able to, and you will see a lot of my truest self on my platforms. Mind you, I do like filters too, but a lot of times I come on raw and I'm just myself. Like if something pops into my head and I want to talk about it, then I pop on, but I'm very mindful of how I try to be very mindful, because, not because I care about what everybody else is going to think, but I want to make sure it's presented in such a way that is not hurtful and it's inspiring and engaging to other people.
And I have another viewer watching on YouTube. Tyler Henry 8395 says you're an inspiration. You're an inspiration to all of us, Carlene. thank you for sharing your journey with us. And thankfully, I have my glasses on because this print and type is so small.
Thank you, Tyler. That's my adopted son.
Hi, Tyler. How are you doing? Thank you so much for watching as well. And that's what I love about this show. Everybody I come on here has it's not just a unique career, but they have amazing stories. And I just love
Yes.
connecting with people. And I really feel my former career in security, I mentioned it before, I was there for 2 decades. I think it really prepared me for this because when you're in security, you have to do a lot of talking, listening, thinking, showing empathy. And it just, I think that really helped me here. And I'm very fortunate. Um, Carlene, I wanted to ask you this as well. I'm based in Guelph, not far from Niagara or Toronto, but can you just tell our audience a little bit about yourself and who were some of your early influences and mentors?
Wow, that's a loaded question, Chris. So, for me, a little bit about me, aside from the fact that I'm an author, writer, I love the outdoors. I love being in nature. And I believe in living life with intention. And as I said, bringing my truest self to every conversation, people that I connect with outside, family, friends, and people just through conversation on my day to day journeys, traveling, hiking, and, just being who I am. And there's another part of the question that you asked. I can't remember what it is.
I've got it right here. Who were some of your
Oh,
early influences and mentors?
okay. So influences and mentors, if I'm to be 100% honest, I have a few, but I'm going to say my mom. My mom, simply because of the struggle she went through when she came to Canada and just learning to adapt. When I started out as a young child, my mom and I were never close. And but I always admired her strength. I admired her. I watched how hard she worked. And what brought us close, we got closer later on in life and during my teenage years, just because um, of an incident that happened with me. And that was actually the first time that I recognized that my mom actually loves me. Like, Caribbean parents don't really show their love and affection, they show it differently. So I don't know if that makes sense, but without getting into a whole lot of detail, there was a time when I didn't feel that I was loved by my mom, and I felt like I wasn't wanted. So when and I believe that things happen in our life for a reason. So I went through something tragic. I lost my first daughter. She
I'm so
was
sorry.
stillborn. And now, many years later, not just now, I recognize that God doesn't do anything off purpose. And that experience brought my mom and I like this. So from that day forward, when I came home from the hospital, she embraced me like she's never embraced me before in her life. She took me in her arms and she told me, most people will say, don't cry. You know what she did? She said, let it out. She said, cry. I cried so hard, and not just because of what I went through, but because of for the first time in my life, I felt the love of my mother. And this was 1990. 1990. I've always loved my mom, but that year, 1990, was a step forward for us and our relationship. So this is a part of me that I don't really share. And so the viewers and everybody who's watching, that's, a deep part of me. And I'm grateful for the relationship I have. So if you ask me, my influencers and my mentors, I say my mom. I have others, but my mom is my number one. I remember all those trips to the hospital, her just coming home from work, working the evening shift, and having to take me to, because I'm a person that suffers with chronic asthma. It's under control now, but I still have it. I've had it since I was young, preschool. And so I admire my mom as my number one influencer and mentor. So
By the way, I have mild asthma as well, but I've been very lucky where I just take my allergy pills or whatever. But I'm very lucky. But actually, somebody in my family actually died from asthma
Oh
back
no.
in 1985. My dad passed away from an asthma attack 2 days before Christmas.
Oh
So I
wow.
lost him. I lost him at the age of 13. And for many years, I wouldn't tell anybody. I would keep this to myself. But the more I'm doing this show and meeting my guests, I'm now more comfortable in sharing my story as well. It was really difficult growing up. I had to grow up early, and unfortunately, he died because of an asthma attack. And the time the paramedics got there, it was too late. So I
Wow.
tell anyone that's asthmatic or has very serious asthma, don't take it lightly. Make sure you see your doctor and take what you need to keep it under control. It's very it's it yeah, I lost a family member because of it.
Sorry for your loss, Chris. Like, it doesn't matter how old our loss is, there's always moments like these that bring back trigger memories and moments. And, like, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I can't even fathom going through losing. I can't imagine losing a parent, especially, at that young age. So, kudos to you. And again, you've come out great. So, and you're doing
Well,
great things.
thank you. I'm still trying to work
You're
on my mind.
resilient. You're resilient.
I'm just
Our
I'm still oh I'm still a work in progress, but I was in
We
so
all are.
many negative toxic environments. When somebody compliments me, I still have trouble accepting it because when you work in a negative work environment or a negative environment, when people actually comment you or say something positive, you kind
Wonder if
of don't
it's
know how to
real.
respond to it. So I'm
Yeah.
working on that. Yes.
You'll get there. And you know what? You're bringing so much light and positivity to the world around you. And, I honestly believe that all it takes is one heart and one mind, and that will multiply and triple to thousands, millions. It takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and what we're trying to do will take time, right? So,
Unfortunately, our society nowadays is like quick, quick, quick. Everything's got to be quick, or you're not successful without the money. And I keep telling people, success is not always money or material things; it's
it's
other
built.
things in life.
It's
Yeah,
built.
yeah.
It's built over time. When you build up, build it and they will come, and build it and the money will come too. So, I mean, yes, it's funny. I had somebody reach out to me the other day, and it was a publisher that I had spoken to years ago regarding how to go about getting my material, my content published. And you know what this person said to me? They said, well, after going through series, he reached out because my name came across his page because we had connected some time ago. And after careful consideration, I decided to go through self publishing. So he reached out to see if I did publish my books, which I did. And then the next step was marketing. And he basically said to me, money talks. And I thought, to myself, well, thank you and have a wonderful day. I wish you all the best. That's all I could say because honestly, if that is your approach to me, I understand. I do understand if you want to get your stuff out there. But for me, I'm going to continue on doing it through my platforms and through opportunities such as this to, share my work and my heart, right? Share my scars because I've already overcome
So
all the
much.
trauma, right? So I share my
I can
scars.
relate. I can relate a little bit. So.
Share my scars. I don't share my injuries. I share my scars.
Carlene, before we get into your book, I did get a little video clip from your YouTube or TikTok from your TikTok channel. I wanted to play it. It's 15 seconds,
Okay.
but it's such a
Yes.
good clip. And where can people find you again on social media and on your TikTok page before you play this clip?
Where can they find me? So TikTok, I don't remember what my thing is. I believe it's Carlene_Lee1, or Instagram, it's Carlene Lee1, something like that. I'm not too sure because I don't really look at it every day. So,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure it's Carlene Lee1 for one of them, and Carlene_Lee for TikTok, I believe.
And
Oh,
it's
it's
on the
right on
graphic
the
too.
screen.
It's on
Yeah,
there too. So I'm going to play
yeah.
this little clip it right now, and let me know if you can hear it. And I think it can relate to everybody. It's called "The Less You Focus on Who Doesn't Like You, the More You Appreciate Who Those Generally Do." I think it's great. 1 second.
The less you focus on people who don't like you or pretend to, the less power they have over your peace. Pour that energy into people, purpose, and passions that help you grow. The
Thoughts on this video, Carlene?
My thoughts are exactly as I said. So basically, here's the thing: choose you first, because if your cup is empty, you can't pour into other people's cups. And you want to make sure you surround yourself with the people who are going to encourage you and inspire you to do better. Not just people who tell you nice things that, oh, you look great today, you're doing great. You want people to be genuinely open and honest with you. At the same time, they're building you up. And in turn, the things that you do and say, um they're reciprocated to others, right? So an example for me is, if I try reaching out to somebody genuinely to see how you are and just share a little bit of my, like my recently published book, and share it with the people that I love, family members, whoever it may be, and I feel that the reciprocation is not there, that they're not really interested, then I've told myself, let it go. Let them go if you have to. If they're meant to be in your life, they will find their way back, because I'm not about forcing connections. I'm not about forcing friendships. If it's not there, it's not there. And this
Car-
goes for family, it goes for friends. It's just the way it is. Because not everybody will understand you, understand where you're at, your journey, and not everybody is happy for you either, right? So that's just the way life works.
And I see that in the media industry too. And I find the older I get now, I listen to my gut feelings and instincts and gut feelings more. If if
1000%.
if it says don't trust that person or there's something about it,
1000%.
yeah, yeah. So
The
I'm
gut,
learning.
the gut does not lie. Your intuition doesn't lie.
Yeah.
No, I firmly believe that, because a lot of times when my gut has spoke to me, my intuition has spoke to me, and I didn't listen to it, I reap the consequences for it. So I can 100%, I concur, I can testify to it. Stay true to your gut, your intuition, your heart. Powerful, powerful.
And how would Carlene? How would you? What advice would you give to the people who let others shrink them, belittle them, and keep them small? What advice would you give to those people?
So the people who are being shrunk,
Yeah, like are kept small, belittled, put down.
I would basically tell them to find yourself another crowd, to find yourself new people, because clearly those people who are continuously shrinking your abilities and your strengths, they're not people that you want in your circle. And even if it's just one person you have in your circle and they're not doing anything for you, they're shrinking you all the time, let them go. Let them go. Let them go.
And I've had to do that myself. And I try to, when other people in media have success, I try to be happy for them, because when I have my success comes, I want people to be happy for me. But unfortunately, nowadays, there seems to be more jealousy and
Yes.
envy and more resentment towards others. And I think it should go the other way. It should be building people up instead of
Absolutely.
tearing them down.
We all have our time to shine. And I believe that there's enough room in the sky for us to let our light shine together. There is no me, 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 me. We just imagine how lit the sky would be if we all let our light shine together. And I firmly believe that. My success is your success, right? And I believe that if we share in our successes, I've always believed in being happy for my friends, my family. When somebody's doing well, I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm very excited, right? Because I want to see my family and friends do well. I want to see my kids do well. I want to see them soar to their highest potential, right? So for me to be anything other than excited and happy for them would say very little about me. So I always believe in being enthusiastic and pure, pure.
Now, you're also an author, and I wanted to talk to that as well. By the way, we're almost at 50 minutes, but great conversations. I told you an hour would fly by, but if you're still good for time, I still would like to ask you a few more questions. I would love to get into your book. What was your inspiration behind your book, When the Pen Became My Prayer? Thoughts that stayed.
So, Chris, I have often been misunderstood, and I have learned to embrace and accept it because as a kid growing up, not just the kid, sometimes we don't always know if we have. I'd like to think that I haven't hurt anyone with my words, but we don't know. And if people don't tell you, then you'll never know. So when the pen became my prayer, every pen I held became mine. And when I couldn't express myself through words or communication with people, I turned to my pen. And that became my conversation with God. So I'm a firm believer in God, and my faith is strong. And there have been many times in my life where I've not always been good to myself in terms of the way I thought about myself. And I had very low esteem, very, very low esteem. And so I have piles of journals from years and years of writing. And most recently, over the past, I'm going to say 10, 15, maybe even 20 years, I turned more deeply to writing and journaling became my outlet. My outlet for, I may look like somebody who's strong and has everything together, but I want to tell people that strong people break too. Strong people break. I like in silence is when I've had my deepest and most meaningful moments where I've actually poured tears. And so this book right here, When the Pen Became My Prayer, it's deep. It holds poems that breathe, encouragement, personal devotionals and reflections that came from lived experiences, emotions, and every page in this book has the footprints of where I've been and the lessons I've learned through poetry, reflections, and personal devotionals. So I also have another book called Poetry in Motion, and it's very similar to When the Pen Became My Prayer, except this one is a lot more deeper. It holds pieces of my heart in every page.
Carlene, what was the writing process like of this book? And did you experience any writer's block during the process at all?
Well, you always have writer's block in terms of putting it together. So for me, I've been writing for forever, and this recent this recent book was slowly developing over the last 2 years. And what it is, it's um, pieces of my journal put together through chapters. I created chapters for each one. So you'll see in this new book, under reflections, I've got a little blog about it. And then that chapter consists of my reflections through the years, of moments lived, experience had, and also from emotions, from hurt, from happiness, all of it. And so putting it together, I would say, is the easy part. Well, Yes. Putting the end result, putting it together to actually get it published is the easy part. The writing, however, that takes time, and it's done through time. Like, it's not done overnight, right? So when I had to go back and recollect my thoughts, I would extend those journal entries to extend on what I meant when I wrote that 1 line, 2 line, or paragraph journal entry. And I would emphasize it through writing more or typing. So I have an electric journal. I have notebook journals, because sometimes when I'm out there and taking a walk on my own or on the trails, things pop into my mind. So I'll quickly jot them down through my electronic notes and or what do you call that, chat? I'll send myself a message with my
G-
thoughts.
GTS or something?
No, not that.
Okay.
Like, gosh. So basically just messaging myself.
So,
WhatsApp, that's it. So I'll WhatsApp myself with my thought for the day, because I don't have anything with me on hand to write. And so when I come back to my quiet space, which is usually during the evenings, during the night, and thoughts come to me, and I'll jot down my thoughts for the day and expand on that.
your
My
daughter is
daughter
watching.
said, it's okay
okay
not
not
to be okay, 100%, Janelle.
Somebody
Yeah.
should put that on a t-shirt or a coffee mug or a t-shirt, because nowadays I
Yeah.
find some people say if you're not okay, they disappear on you too. You really
Yes.
find out who your family and your friends
Yes.
are when you're going through
When
not
things
so
aren't
good
going
times.
well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I got to ask you about the book. How therapeutic was writing this book for you in terms of the
Very therapeutic. I'm glad you asked that question, because I left out a key. So whether you write a book or every single one of us has a story to tell. Regardless of how you document it, every single one of us has a story to tell. And I believe that, if we are now, I just had a mental block, Chris.
It
So
happens. It happens.
on the back, sorry, go ahead.
It happens to the best of us.
I just had a mental block. I had what I wanted to say in my head, and then I forgot. So I'm just going to read you the description that I have on the back of this book. And it says, if you are holding this book, know this: you are not behind, you are not lost, you are in motion too. May these pages meet you where you are. May they remind you of who you are becoming. And may you discover, as I have, that sometimes the most wonderful journeys we take are the stories we write ourselves, 1 page at a time. So I'm getting emotional now just thinking about it, but there's so much, and I believe that my book has something in it for everyone. So it's not about my life story. It's about pieces of my life through poetry, reflections, encouragement, and, as I said, daily devotionals. So every category that I just spoke of right now is a chapter. And through those chapters, you will find pieces of yourself, hopefully, or something you can resonate with. So my hope is that I really want my family to read the book. That's all I'm going to say. Like,
I wanted to get your thoughts on this too, since we're talking about the book. Do you find communication skills nowadays has shrunk due to technology?
yes, without hesitation, yes. And I say this because for the simplest things, we turn to our electronic devices to text, right? Communication lacks because we now have these electronic devices that we turn to for everything. And it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But for me personally, when I'm at an event, I use my phone to take pictures to capture the moments. I don't stay engaged on my phone while I'm at the event, because I want to engage and have personal connections with the people that I'm around, especially when I'm around family. So the only time you'll see this cell phone in my hand, I don't even know where it is right now, but is when I'm taking pictures, and I capture a lot of pictures and videos because I love looking back on the moments and reflecting. And a lot of my poetry and a lot of my writing come from those moments, right? So journaling over the years has been extremely therapeutic for me, extremely therapeutic. We all go through stages in our lives, and we all go through seasons where they're not always I don't want to say bad, but they're not always good, and they're challenging, right? We go through seasons of adversities, seasons of challenges, hardships, and all of that. And it really is how we overcome them that makes the difference, because then we can speak about it and inspire somebody else to maintain that level of positivity and encouragement in their life, right? So when you ask me about people that I've been inspired by in my life, what person that comes to mind is Denzel Washington. There's a few, Morgan Freeman. There's a lot of people, but Maya Angelou. There's so many of them that I can't possibly pick one. That's how influential some of those people are, right? So I can't possibly just pick one. Maya Angelou wrote a poem called I Rise, and Still I Rise, and that poem speaks volumes. And actually, through her words and her encouragement, has actually inspired me to pursue my writing career in terms of publishing my books. I've always known that I wanted to be a writer and publish a book one day. And this is going back through my high school years. And I spoke of two teachers. Mr. Fowley was the one English teacher that I had, and we had an assignment to write a series of poems, and from short to different contexts. He was looking for different things, and I didn't know that I was capable of doing such amazing work. And when he called me to his desk to have a conversation with me after he had let the class go, his words to me stayed with me ever since. He said, "You have potential. And what I read in your poetry, I could feel your heart." And that, to me, that never left me. That never left me. And I knew that one day I wanted to publish those poems, and I did. I did.
How would you describe yourself as a writer, and where can our audience purchase your book? And are you doing signed copies of your book? Because I would like to purchase your book too.
So, Chris, I've thought about the how, but I don't really know. I would love to host something where I can sign books and hand to people, but I've never really thought about it deeply. And so right now my books are available on amazon.ca.com, available Canada-wide, US. So it can be purchased on Amazon. But to your point, I never really thought about the how to get out there and really expose my work. So as much as I would love to sign copies for so many, especially those who have actually given me a hand up in life and who have been there, my motivators, my encouragers. And when I spoke of my mom, I've had aunts and relatives that have really been there for me as well. And, I purposely don't mention names just because I don't want people to feel, I have many families members, many aunts, but there are a few that have really been there for me. And a couple come to mind. And in this book, the Psalm That Stayed is a reflection of one of my aunts who really, from a child, I never knew what valleys of shadows of death meant. I never knew what the Lord is my shepherd meant until one of my aunts, who used to take me quite often for weekends, and she gave me a bath. I was very young. She gave me a bath one day, and she had some candles burning. And she said, "I want you to recite this verse with me." It was Psalm 23. and she knows who she is. So I don't even have to say her name, but I want to thank her so much for being a very important part of my life, because that verse, even though I had no idea what it meant, Chris, I memorized Psalm 23 from a very tender age. And that psalm stayed with me from childhood. I recited it almost every single night. Not once I memorized it, I was able to recite it every single night before I went to bed, not understanding it. But as the years passed, I would dissect the verses one by one and one by one. And through doing that, I said, oh my gosh, that's what it meant. That's what it means. And slowly, and now I have a better understanding. I understand the context of what each and every verse means to me anyway. So yeah, so I didn't plan to share that today, but somehow it just was meant to be, right? So yeah, I'm deeply, deeply grateful to her and my other family members who have been there for me through trying times. And one of my other aunts who was there for me, I remember way back when, back at Finch Station, I was stuck, no way to get home. And I said to myself, I called home to get a ride because the buses stopped running after a certain time and nobody would answer the phone. And I said to myself, a car stopped, pulled up and asked me if I wanted a ride. And in my head, I said, I need to get home. And then another voice said, don't. And so I didn't. I went to the payphone, and I didn't have any money to even use the payphone. That was another valuable lesson I learned that day. And I called my aunt. One of my aunts, and I said, I'm stuck. My aunt didn't even hesitate. She said, stay right there. And she came out in the wee hours of the morning. I believe it was 12:30, 1 o'clock. I don't even know what time it was, but it was late. She came out and she got me. And I never forgot that. Never forgot that. And hopefully she remembers that moment too. But yeah, this is a different aunt. The psalm that stayed is one. And this, and I wrote about this in Poetry in Motion. So I said, there's a specific line in that book where I said, when we think, and I want to put this out there to everyone, when we think that family isn't there for us, the right ones are. Because
bingo,
right?
Bingo. Yep.
Not everyone that you grew up with and were close with, sometimes we assume that they should be the ones that are there, but they're not always the ones. Sometimes it's the ones that you least expect that are the ones. The right ones will always show up for you. And that's what I want to leave people with. Don't worry about who's not there for you. Just stay in tune with yourself, because the right people will find you and the right ones will always be there for you.
And I can relate to Carlene. I had to cut out a family member, a sibling 5 years ago, and I don't have any regrets now. It's just we're different people. We're different, and sometimes blood related is not always family member. I have people that are not blood related to me. They're more family to me than some people that are blood related. So it's how people treat you and support you that matter. It doesn't matter if they're blood related or not. Family is not always blood related. So thank you for sharing that. By the way, Shazette Howe is watching on YouTube, and she wants to say very inspiring, Carlene. So without Shazette, I don't meet you.
So Shed and I had a very interesting and heartwarming conversation yesterday. I think we were on the phone for about an hour, and she called to wish me best of luck for today. And she told me she'd be tuning in, and here she is. I really admire her. And through our conversation yesterday, I realized just how similar we really are. I never knew that until yesterday. Yeah. And our husbands we connected through our husbands because they're close friends or have been friends for a very long time. And so our conversation yesterday meant the world to me. I didn't realize how many similarities that we have. But thank you for that, Sasha. You're amazing.
As we wrap the show up, Carlene, do you got 5 more minutes? 5 more minutes and a couple more
Sure.
quick questions? Okay.
Sure.
As we wrap the show up, I'm going to put you on the spot here. What's 3 words to describe Carlene Lee and one fun fact about yourself?
I'm courageous. Okay, 3 words: courageous, adventurous, and resilient. 3 words. One fun fact about myself is, well, I told you what one was. Oh, one fun fact is I love art. I love, love, love art. And I'm not an artist, but I am an artist. And recently, since November 2025, I started this art therapy sessions with Jamie. She's her thing is at Mood Body Studios. So, but before that, Tracy Moore had posted something regarding art meditation. And so I tried it. It was a 5-second art meditation. No, 10-second art meditation, something like that. Anyway, I did that. I followed her post and I did that. And it was so amazing and very therapeutic. Ever since that day, I've been doing it ever since. And I just want to say thank you to Jamie at Mood Body Studios and Tracy Moore, because of her, I started it. I did a session with Jamie from App Mood Body Studios, and she really, she's an inspiration. That's all I can say. So thank you guys so much.
Carlene, by the way, ironically, you said artist. I had a show yesterday with a stand-up comedian and artist from California. And when she does her stand-up comedy, she does artwork with it. It's called Jokes and Strokes. It's jokes and strokes for paint. So she has people come up and paint portraits, and they do jokes at the same time. And she said she came up with that. So she's combined her artistry with comedy as well.
That's amazing. That is not easy to do, right?
No, I will send you the link to our show yesterday, but she explains to us what that's about.
So she was on your yesterday's show?
Yes. Yeah, her name is Jackie Sylvia.
I'm going to tune in on YouTube and check that out, because that is something of great interest to me. That's not easy to do.
No. And then my guest tomorrow is also a cancer survivor like yourself as well. And she's got an amazing story to share as well. So I'm just very lucky having all these wonderful guests on my show. And I just love what I'm doing. And I'm going to put myself on the spot as we wrap this show up. It's called Ask the Host CDP a Question. CDP are my initials, by the way. So people are like, what the hell CDP?
I figured that out. That out.
Yes. My middle name is David.
Okay, I was going to ask you that. So I knew that the C and the P was your name and the middle and the D was your middle name, but I said, should I ask him or should I not ask him? So I'm glad that you said what it is.
So do you have a question or two for me to put me on the hot seat to wrap this up?
I do. I'm going to say, I want to ask you, what was your motivation or inspiration for doing this? Like you host a lot of people and have a lot of people on your show. What inspired you to do this?
I got a taste of broadcasting 7 years ago by volunteering, and I ended up doing camera work. They actually paid me for it. They referred me to a local TV company. I did camera work for a couple of years. During the pandemic, I told a producer I was going to start a podcast up. He smirked and laughed at me kind of. And I said, no, I'm going to do this. And basically, I got a taste of the broadcasting bug by volunteering. And my other career, I had to deal with a lot of people. I had to interview people. I had to speak to people. I had to listen to people. Storytelling. The storytelling part, the learning part of it. And I think my other career I'm grateful for, but it was time at the end. And I just love doing what I'm doing and connecting with people. And I'm able to connect with even strangers too. And my shows are not forced. I'm not scripted. I'm not forced. And I just love what I'm doing. And none of my guests care about my age or about my background. They just like the fact that my job, I try to do a really good job. I do my homework. I prepare for my guests, and I'm not perfect. I do make mistakes, but the only way you get better as a professional is to learn from your mistakes. But I do this because I love storytelling. I love learning, and live streaming is the new form of radio going forward. And I just want to continue to build my brand and continue to get great guests on, and to also get more companies to advertise on my show as well, because this is the way I love it. And some people today aren't able to watch your show because they've got other commitments. But with technology, you can watch this show 24/7, 365. So it's just I just love doing what I'm doing and getting to know people and connecting, networking, friendships. And I learn from every guest that comes on here.
That's amazing. And you said one key thing that really sparked an interest for me, and I really am big on that, and that's building. You do this because you're building, and that speaks because you like you said, you're exactly who you are. What you see is what you get. And I see that, and I'm experiencing that with you, and I really appreciate that. So I want to ask you one more thing. I want to turn the tables around a little bit now. I want to ask you, what is a fun fact about you?
A fun fact about me: I'm now 5'4".
That's
Um,
why you keep making those jokes.
yep, yeah. I'm left-handed. I'm left-handed, and I've never been on an airplane yet.
Oh, really?
No.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. One day you're going to be on an airplane, and don't fear, because wow, that is a
Yeah.
fun fact, something I did not know.
I should try that one day too. And I try to be funny too. I try to have a good
That
sense
I
of
know.
humor.
That I know.
Yes.
You
I
gave
try
me
to
a few good laughs this morning, so that's
That's good.
offsite, guys. So yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, I've had so many people I just met are so supportive of me, and it's just nice to be around people that support you.
Yes.
Because
Agreed.
I know what it's like to be in a toxic environment, and it's like toxic environments. It's like a cancer. It eats away at you, and it affects your mental health, your physical health, and your mindset too.
Everything, especially your mind, right? And I
Yes.
think that at all costs, it is important for us to protect our heart and our minds. Everything we do flows from the heart. So once we protect that, and we are mindful and intentional about the things that we do, it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
And
Carlene, I was going to say, have you thought about starting a podcast show in the future? And if not, you have an open invite to come back on here, because I thought you are a natural on camera.
oh, thank you. Actually, I've thought about it. I've talked to my husband about it many times, and I said, "But what would I even talk about?" And there's actually a lot that I could talk about, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about it. It's just I said I'm not ready yet. I'm like, it's not even that. It's just with everything else that I had going on,
Yeah.
getting my books out there, that was my priority. So now that I've done that and accomplished that, who knows what my next move will be, right? But I've never
Once
really given it a deep consideration. So,
One thing I'm learning is a work-life balance. Sometimes I take on too much, and I don't want to get to the point where I get burned out. And I don't want to get burned out, but I also don't want to have a show where I don't give my guests 100%, because I treat every show like I was on a radio station, and unfortunately the station downsized and I was affected. So I treat every show that I'm still on radio, and I try to be professional, and and the focus is on my guests. It's not about me, it's about my guests. And I had that good advice when I started this 7 years ago. Make sure you aren't talking just about yourself, it's about your guests. That's why people are watching or listening. And always stay humble and stay hungry, not just food wise, but hungry in
humble.
terms of knowledge. Yeah.
Humility is key. Humility
Yes.
is key because, since you really quickly, a friend of mine, Sandra, thank you for our conversation and your friendship. I appreciate you, and I am mentioning her name because I really want to give her a huge shout out. You know, one thing that she said to me, and I've always known, but it's sitting right here on my heart, Carlene, she always expresses her truest self. And she says to me, she purchased not one, but two of my books. And she said, Carlene, after reading the first, she was on the 10th page, but she said after reading the first page, she felt my heart. And the last thing she said to me after our conversation, and we both were shedding tears and eye water, she said to me, Carlene, don't ever change who you are. She didn't say if, she said, when you become famous, don't ever change who you are. Don't ever change your character, your personality. And that touched my heart in a way that I can't even begin to describe. But
continue to grow and not shrink, except for my waistline. I got you there. I got you there. Do you have any plans? You're welcome. And my job as a talk show host is to get my guests to feel comfortable and to open up and to try to get them to smile and laugh too.
And that you did, because let me tell you something, Chris. Although I have had opportunities and been a keynote speaker and also a guest speaker on a panelist with other distinguished speakers and spoke. I've been doing this. When you do something new like this and it's for the first time, there's always those nerves. But today, I honestly didn't feel any of that, because even though there's an audience behind the screen, it's just you and me having a conversation. And I actually forgot that we have people watching at some. So it's amazing. What you're doing is great work. And I really commend you. And I appreciate you giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And I say thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're very welcome. And hopefully one day I'll be able to meet you in person to say hi and get a selfie with. And I also do in-person interviews too. So maybe after your event's over, I could come and do a live interview with you as well.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow.
But I will make a donation after our show's over to help out. I wanted to help out, support you. So thank you.
I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
And as we wrap this up, what is next?
Everybody who tuned in, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. You guys are truly awesome to take time out of your day, your Saturday, your busy Saturday, to spend it with me and Chris. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
And as we wrap up the show, what is next on your bucket list, Carlene? And how can the audience, again, follow you on social media? Any plans for a website and the best way of contacting you, and to make a donation for the great, what is it called again?
Great Cycling Challenge Canada?
Cycling Challenge of Canada.
Okay, so they can pretty much reach out to me on all my platforms. Follow me there or engage with my posts if you so desire. And also you'll see all the links in my bios on all my platforms, TikTok, IG, because those are open for people. So if you either one of those platforms, you will see links to all my books and also the Great Cycle Challenge. If you're interested in supporting that, you're more than welcome. No worries, no force, but thank you all. I appreciate you. And thanks again for tuning in to everyone who's watching.
And good luck with your 500 kilometers of cycling for the month of August. And fingers crossed for the $3,000. There is a gentleman on TikTok. As we wrap the show up, he's from Philadelphia. I can't remember his name. He walked from Philadelphia to California to raise money. He had thousands of people told him he couldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. He would get and he did do it. I'll have to give you his name. Mind power and willpower, and he did it. I'll have to send you the link to what he did. It's very special, and it just, don't let other people tell you what you can't do.
Oh, I'm not. And then when I hear the negative ones, I just push them to the back. I push them out, right? Yeah. Because I'm going to try to do this. I mean, like I said, I'm going to aim for it and I'm going to push hard to do it. And like I said, realistically, the most I've done is 309 kilometers. So
That's amazing.
I am going to push. I'm going to push hope forward. Every turn of the wheel is hope spinning for me, okay? And spinning for those kids who are battling their cancer journey. And, all kids should be living life, not fighting for it. So every pedal forward is for them, not for me. It's for them.
And I want to do this before we let you go in 2 seconds. I wanted to do this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carlene, for coming on here. Continued success as an author, a wellness speaker, and with your charity run as well. And again, your book, When the Pen Became My Prayer, Thoughts That Stay. And good luck with your Ride to Fight Kids Cancer, the Great Cycling Challenge of 2026. Our goal is to raise $3,000, and you can make donations online like I will as well. Carlene, final thought before we let you go.
Always stay true to who you are, because nobody can duplicate real. And in a world full of so many comparisons out there, always choose to stand out. Be your true, unique self, because each and every one of us has a gift. And once we stay true to heart, our gifts will shine through. So that's it from me.
Continue to
blessed day, everybody.
Continue to shine and not shrink.
Absolutely. You got my word.
Well, Carlene, thank you so much for coming on. Give me a little time this afternoon, and I will send you the video, the audio, and some reels and clips if you'd like to play it. And if you'd like the full video episode, let me know, and I can send it to you by WeTransfer via email if you'd like the full video as well.
Sure. I will look for it on your YouTube channel for sure. 100%.
I just have some things to do around the house this afternoon, but I will get all this to you later this evening. But it's been a pleasure talking to you. Even though we've only known each other for a couple of weeks, it feels like I've known you for years.
I was going to say the same thing, like connecting with you over the past couple of weeks here and there for all these little things. And, just general conversation was amazing. It gave me a chance to really feel comfortable, not comfortable in terms of doing this today, because I get to know a little bit about you and feel like, oh my gosh, I've known you for forever, right? But yeah, it's good. And thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Guys, check him out on all platforms: TikTok, YouTube, IG, Facebook. Chris is there, and he has some really good people on his shows. He has some great content from time. His content is great, period, but you got to take the time to really look through it, not look through it, because he starts off with an intro, and some of you might go from the intro to something else, but he's got some amazing stuff on his platform. So thanks again, Chris. I appreciate you, and you are awesome. Keep being awesome. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. And another fun fact about me is I do have a big head, literally a big head.
Okay, so is that why you wear your hat?
Yes.
Well, I don't see a big head, but I see a very kind and genuine person. So keep
a work in progress, but thank you so much.
We're all a work in progress, not perfect, but striving to be better than we were. So kudos.
Well, I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon, great weekend, and we'll be in touch with you soon. And I will make an online donation too as soon as we wrap this up. Give me a little time, and we'll have this all sent to you. You have an open invite to come back on again, or hopefully one day I'll be able to do an interview with you in person as well at some point.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Have yourselves a great day and stay blessed.
Thank you so much, Carlene. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. That concludes season 14, episode 28, overall 743 of Live with CDP Sports Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership here in Guelph. And I want to say thank you to Carlene Lee. She is an author of a book called When the Pen Became My Prayer, Thoughts That Stayed. And she's also doing a 500-kilometer ride to fight kids cancer. through the Great Cycling Challenge of Canada 2026. Her goal is to raise $3,000. So go to greatcyclechallenge.canada and you can make a donation there as well. I do have it on here as well for Carlene Lee's social media sites. You can follow her on Linktree, on YouTube, Threads, Instagram, and also she is on Facebook. And I do have the website. Here it is right now. If you want to make a donation to Ride to Fight Kids Cancer, you can do it through greatcyclechallenge.ca/writers/Carlene Lee if you'd like to make a donation, and her goal is to raise $3,000. So thank you so much to Carlene Lee for coming on. Thank you to the audience for watching this show on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Instagram. And thank you to my audience listening to this show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Good Pods, Amazon Music, and wherever podcasts are available. And I want to say thank you to everyone for your comments as well. And as we wrap up this show, guys, I have another announcement to make. My next live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by BarryCullin.com, is going to be on Sunday, August 2nd at 2 p.m. Eastern with my special guest, Brandy L. Benson. She's a Georgia realtor agent, a keynote speaker, and a cancer survivor. Sometimes I talk too fast. I just need to pace myself. So again, I have a show tomorrow, Sunday, August 2nd, 2 p.m. with special guest Brandy Benson, a Georgia real estate realtor, a keynote speaker, and a cancer survivor, and a U.S. Army veteran. So please check out Brandy L. Benson on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show tomorrow at 2:00. That will be my 6th show in 6 days. So I do feel in probably another week or so, I am going to take a week off. I love doing the show, but I do want to take a little bit of time off and actually get my new laptop hooked up as well. I have a new laptop and I'm excited to use that as well. So please make sure you check out my show tomorrow, Sunday at 2:00 with Brandy L. Benson. And as well, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership. Speaking of Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, right now you can get a $25 Esso and Mobile E gift card with a purchase of an oil change and an eligible vehicle health check. Offer valid from June 1st, 2026 until the end of this month, August 31st, 2026. Hurry up, book your appointment today at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership or visit them at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. If you're looking to adopt a pet, guys, check out the New Hope Animal Rescue Group, 4990 Jones Baseline in Guelph, Ontario. Telephone number 519-836-9780 or visit their website, newhopeanimalrescueguelph.ca. They do a wonderful job there as well. And also check out the Cambridge District Humane Society. If you're looking to adopt a pet, go to the Cambridge Humane Society's website, CambridgeHumaneSociety.org. All the animals and pets that are up for adoption are on CambridgeHumaneSociety.org, and they do a wonderful job in getting our furry friends adopted into good homes and family. And again, I want to say thank you to Carlene Lee for coming on. This concludes my 5th show in 5 days, and I hope everybody has a great night. There is CFL action today, guys, at 3:00 on TSN and the 3:00 today on TSN or the Tiger Cats audio network with Rick Zampert and Simone Lawrence. The Hamilton Tiger Cats 3-4 take on the Calgary Stampeders, who are 3-4 as well. And the Toronto Argonauts are back home finally. After 3 months being here in Guelph, the Argos will be back in Toronto next week for their home opener at BMO Field against the same Calgary Stampeders. Yours truly will be in the media press box at BMO Field for the Argos Stampeders game. And the Argos will have a couple more practices here in Guelph, I believe, before they head back to Toronto as well. That is about it, guys. I want to say thank you to everyone for watching and listening to Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership and hosted by yours truly, Chris Palme. I hope everybody has a great afternoon, and we'll see you back here on Sunday, August 2nd at 2 p.m. with special guest Brandy L. Benson, a real estate realtor from Georgia and a cancer survivor as well. Have a great day, everybody, and also make sure you enjoy Major League Baseball and the CFL game today with Calgary and Hamilton as well. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening to our show, and we'll talk to you guys soon.